We've all used chatbots, right? But what comes next is something way more powerful. I'm talking about AI agents, the kind that don't just talk, they act. Today, we're going to break down exactly what it takes to build one of these. Let's get into it.
So let's get right to it. You might be thinking, okay, is an AI agent just a better chatbot? And that's a totally fair question. But the answer? It's a hard no. And trust me, the difference is huge. It's not just an upgrade, it's a whole different ballgame.
Think about it like this. A simple chatbot, it's all about generating text. It's totally stateless, which means it forgets who you are the second you're done talking. It's just following a very narrow set of instructions. But a real production-grade agent? Whoa, that's a different beast entirely. It takes action. It has a memory, so it can learn and get smarter. And the big one, it's autonomous. It can actually work on its own to get something done. Okay, so how do we actually build one of these powerful agents? Well, you can't just wing it. You need a blueprint. And what you're seeing here is exactly that, the 6 core building blocks we're about to walk through. This is our roadmap, our guide to building a smart, autonomous system from scratch.
All right, block number 1, identity. You can think of this as the agent's DNA. See, it's not enough for an AI to just be smart. It needs to know who it is. Is it a super serious financial analyst, a friendly, empathetic customer support rep? Nailing down its role, its expertise, and yeah, even its personality, that's the absolute first step to making it useful and trustworthy.
So what does this actually look like in the real world? Well, a customer support agent has got to use empathetic language that matches the brand's tone, right? A data analyst agent needs to think statistically and, super importantly, not just make stuff up. And you can bet a medical coding agent needs to be absolutely strict about compliance. This isn't just about sounding good. It's a critical constraint that makes the agent more precise and way less likely to mess up. Okay, on to block 2, focus. This is huge. An agent without a clear goal is, well, it's kind of useless. It'll just wander off, waste a ton of time and money, or get stuck in a loop. So setting boundaries means giving it a crystal clear mission. And, just as important, you have to tell it what not to do, what to ignore. It's all about keeping it on track. I mean, think about it. If you have a travel agent bot, its one job is to book that flight. It shouldn't be writing a history paper on aviation, you know? Or a code review agent. Its job is to check for quality, security, and performance. That's it. This kind of laser focus is what gives you higher completion rates and actually brings down costs. It makes the agent efficient and, crucially, predictable. All right, block number 3 is memory. And without this one, your agent has the memory of a goldfish. Seriously. It's stuck in this loop of, hi, who are you, with every single interaction. Memory, both short-term for what you're talking about right now, and long-term for things like your preferences. That's what lets an agent build on past conversations and actually learn.
And this is where it starts to feel magical, right? A personal assistant that remembers you always want the aisle seat. A support agent that already knows your entire customer history. That's a total game changer. It turns the agent from just a dumb tool into a real partner, one that gets smarter and more helpful the more you use it.
Okay, now for my favorite part, tools. This is how we give the agent hands and feet. Look, an AI that can just talk is cool, I guess, but an AI that can tap into APIs, run database queries, or execute code, that's an AI that can actually do things in the real world. Tools are what connect the agent's brain to the action.
Yeah. This quote just nails it. Tools transform agents from being just advisors to being actual doers. This is the key to real automation. It's the difference between an agent telling you how to update a record in your CRM and one that just goes and does it for you. Huge difference. So just like in the real world, big problems usually need a team, right? You don't have one person who's an expert in everything. Well, it's the exact same for AI. That's where Block 5 cooperation comes in. It lets us build teams of highly specialized agents that work together. So instead of one jack-of-all-trades agent, you get a whole crew of experts tackling a problem from different angles. And this workflow is a perfect example of how that works. You've got a planner agent that's like the project manager. It breaks down the big task into smaller pieces. Then the research agent goes out and grabs all the info. You've got a critic agent, which is super important, that acts as quality control. And then finally, the execution agent actually performs the task. It's like an assembly line of intelligence, and it makes the whole system way more reliable. Last but definitely not least, we have the most critical block of all, especially for building trust: guardrails. You could think of this as the agent's conscience, its moral compass.
Guardrails define the hard lines, the things the agent is absolutely forbidden to do. We're talking about safety, business rules, ethical boundaries, the stuff that is completely non-negotiable. So, in practice, what does this mean? It means stopping the agent from leaking sensitive customer data. It means forcing it to get a human to sign off before it does something high risk, or preventing it from dishing out medical or legal advice when it's not qualified. These guardrails are what give us the confidence to actually let these things run autonomously in the real world. So let's pull this all together. What have we learned? A real AI agent isn't just about writing a clever prompt. It's a whole system. You need all 6 pieces of the puzzle: the identity or role, the focus, the memory, the tools, the ability to work in a team, and those critical guardrails. You can't skip any of them. They all have to work together.
And that brings us to the big question, the one we all need to be thinking about. As these agents get more and more powerful, as they move from just being advisors to being real doers, how in the world do we make sure they always do the right thing? That's the challenge.
These 6 building blocks are really just the beginning, the foundation. Once you get these down, it opens up a whole new world of advanced stuff, things like agentic architecture and AI governance. These are the next layers that build on top of this framework to create systems that are even more capable.
Look, if you found this interesting and you really want to go deep, if you want to be one of the people building these next-gen AI products, then you've got to check out the AI Product Management Playbook by Deepak Dio. It is an absolutely fantastic resource for the latest thinking on agentic AI. Find it on LinkedIn, hit subscribe. Seriously, it's the next step you need to take. Thanks so much for watching.